New York City, February 3rd, 1848. A man steps onto a lecture stage at the Society Library. He's pale, gaunt, dressed immaculately despite being nearly broke. He's been awake for days. His wife died in their cottage less than a month ago, and he has been writing ever since. As if grief had cracked something open in him, and through the crack the universe was pouring in. He expects hundreds of people, only 60 show up. It's a stormy night. He begins to speak, and what comes out is not a gothic horror tale or a melancholy poem. What comes out is a complete theory of the origin, structure, and ultimate fate of the entire universe. Most of the 60 people in that room are confused. A few are pretty sure they're watching a man lose his mind. What they're actually watching, though none of them know it, is someone describe the Big Bang, 75 years before scientists discover it. His name is Edgar Allan Poe, and this is the story of the strangest thing he ever wrote. When you hear the name Edgar Allan Poe, certain images come immediately to mind. A raven, a beating heart under floorboards, a cask of Amontillado bricked up behind a wall. The man is synonymous with American Gothic, with darkness and dread and the macabre poetry of death. And that's all real. Poe wrote those things, and he wrote them brilliantly. He essentially invented the modern detective story. He pioneered science fiction. He was one of the first American writers to attempt making a living purely from the craft. He mostly failed at it, drinking heavily, scraping rent, dying at under 40 under circumstances so mysterious that even today, no one is entirely sure what killed him. But here's one part of Poe almost no one talks about. The Poe who was obsessed with science, who read voraciously in astronomy and physics and mathematics, who spent the last year of his life, the darkest year after his wife Virginia died of tuberculosis in their freezing cold cottage in what is now the Bronx, channeling that grief into a cosmological treatise he believed was the most important thing he would ever write. He called it Eureka, a prose poem. He told his publisher it was more important than Newton's discovery of gravity. He asked for an initial print run of 50,000 copies minimum. He once wrote to a friend, "What I have propounded will, in good time, revolutionize the world of physical and metaphysical science. I say this calmly, but I say it." The publisher printed 500. About 500 of them sold, but slowly. Poe died the following year, and Eureka was largely forgotten. And then, one by one, across the next century, scientists began discovering that this dead, broke, allegedly crazy poet had beaten them to the punch.